North Korea's issued a series of threats and warnings aimed at South Korea and the United States. Now, while aggressive rhetoric out of Pyongyang's nothing new, it's been released with a certain level of intensity this week that's catching our attention. For instance, North Korea threatened Wednesday to pour a shower of shells onto South Korea. This was actually part of a delayed state media response to September's decision by the South's Constitutional Court to strike down a law banning the floating of balloons carrying anti-Pyongyang leaflets across the border into the north. According to the court, that ban excessively restricted the right to freedom of expression in South Korea. But this is an issue that North Korea takes very seriously, viewing such leaflets as high-level psychological warfare and a de facto preemptive strike. Essentially, the North's upset because the leaflets may threaten to cause social unrest and even pose a threat to the country's leadership, but also due to their alleged ability to spread viral infection, particularly since COVID-19. And these leaflet campaigns led by North Korean-defectors in the South have triggered several significant moments and flashpoints in recent years. In 2014, the two Koreas exchanged machine gun fire across the border after the North apparently tried to shoot down balloons floating from the South. In 2020, the North blew up the Inter-Korean liaison building in the border town of Kaesong in anger over leaflets. But South Korea did take action later that year to safeguard peace, with the then ruling party passing the so-called Anti-Leaflet Act. However, with Seoul's stance being reversed in line with the Constitutional Court's decision, North Korea's revolutionary forces have been described as enraged by state media, which pointed to conflicts in Europe and the Middle East as an example of what could happen on the Korean peninsula with just a single spark, adding that the distribution of leaflets would lead to the end of South Korea. And then, North Korea is also bristling over the visits of top US officials to the South. American Secretary of State Antony-Blinken arrived on the peninsula Wednesday to hold talks with his South Korean counterpart Park-Jin.
Today, Minister Park and I spoke about further actions that our countries can take with partners to intensify pressure on Moscow not to transfer military technology to the DPRK in violation of multiple UN Security Council resolutions.
With US Secretary of Defense Lloyd-Austin also due in Seoul next week, North Korean state media described these visits as a field inspection by warmongers to bring a new war cloud to the region, although it's apparently entirely up to the US whether or not a crisis will be created to hasten the end of America.